Righteous peace and power, everyone. My name is Muhammad, aka Best Creation. Welcome. Thanks for joining. I want to talk to you about crystals. Crystals. And if you stick around, I'm going to do a little demonstration on crystals. So make sure you stick around, alright? Okay, let's jump right in. Okay, so what are crystals? According to the Latin definition of crystals, it comes from the Latin word meaning crystallos, meaning ice. So, crystals are basically from the earth. They're stones. They're part of the earth. We've actually known about crystals throughout history, and it's been mentioned in the Bible over 200 times. All over religious texts. In the movies, like Indiana Jones or James Bond, the bad guy is always looking for that special sapphire or whatever. So you've known about them. You know about gold and diamonds. If you look at all the ancient kings, nobility, all the pharaohs, the priests, the prophets. I mean, we have known about crystals for a very, very long time. It's just that the knowledge and the use of crystal has been exclusive to certain segments of the population, namely the elite, the powerful. But, we're at a new time now. We were subjects in the old times, but now we are sovereigns. And it is time for everybody to start acting like sovereigns. So that's why we're bringing back the knowledge of crystals. Alright? So, crystals are, like I said, they're from the earth, primarily made out of silica. Our own body's made out of silica. So, so why study about crystals? Well, as you know, we've entered into a new age, and it's becoming more and more evident that the old ways of doing things is not going to work anymore. As far as economy-wise, as far as living, health-wise, none of those. Everything has to change. The old world is gone out the window, literally as we speak. It's decomposing right now. So, in my opinion, you would be a fool not to use crystals. Why do you think the kings and prophets use crystals? It's because it works. If you look at, the Chinese, a lot of people might think that, they're so far out, but, if you think about it, who has the most money right now in the world? So, it works, because they're fortunate that their system allows for the application, it somehow retained the knowledge and use of crystals and, ancient modality like feng shui and other ancient sciences. So these systems really work. It's just that we had been, let's just say we were brought up as subjects. So of course, you know, our entire thinking and way of life is based off of that mentality. But you know, in December 21st of 2012, we've entered into a new age, the age of enlightenment, and that's what it is. You know, we're coming back into the full knowledge and awareness of who we truly are. And you know, crystals is literally a technology tool that's going to assist us with that. You know, just like right now, you know, we're using computers and the internet, videos. You know, all of these is because of technology. And crystals are also technology, believe it or not. Alright? So how can crystal help you? Well, like I said, you know, we're in the new age now. So the old ways of doing things is really not the smart way to go about living, because you know, in this world, in the old ways of doing things, it's always attached to, you know, good and bad. You know, whether it's, you know, trying to manifest wealth or whatever, or you know, going to the hospital. You know, yeah, they may have some temporary medications for a symptom, but on the other side, you have, you know, all the side effects and, you know, whatever. So there is another way, the real way, the 5D way, the new age way. You know, like, yeah, if let's say, for example, you want to be a millionaire, you know, if you were to go about it the old way, that requires, you know, a lot of work. You know, you may have to, you know, get a job, you know, work your way up. You know, you might have to kiss a lot of behinds. You might have to sacrifice sleep. You might have to sacrifice family, life. I mean, you are literally, you know, sacrificing your entire self just to make it. And even if you do make it, you know, you're still bound by contracts, and, you know, your business is tied to other businesses. And I mean, you know how the Matrix is. Yeah, I mean, that's the old ways of doing things. Those days are over. You know, there's a believe me, there's a smarter way of doing things. And the ruling elite and the powerful, they've been known about this. I mean, they use that against us, you know. You know, I hate to say they and all this, but it's just the truth. I mean, if you look at it, you know, if so-called subjects
database has been updated,
have to, you know, break their backs to get wealth, while the, you know, elite, you know, basically, some of them, you know, if they're not born into it, you know, they're taught the right way to attract wealth, which is the way that I'm going to teach you today. So, I mean, just for example, let me give you an example. Like, look at their commercials, for example. You know, they're using high science, fourth dimensional type marketing. I mean, they're using sigils. They're using, I mean, they launch their products on certain days, and you know, all that matters. All that matters significantly. You know, so just be patient. You know, eventually all this will make sense, but you know, first you just have to be aware that there's something. There's a smarter way, and there's a better way for you to get what you want. So a lot of people are asking, so why aren't I getting what I want right now? I've tried all this law of attraction stuff, and none of this is working for me. Well, you gotta think you're running on less than 1%, battery capacity right now. And, from just, first of all, from the way you eat, from the way you live, your thoughts, in order to manifest wealth, or in order to manifest your desire, you have to merge your willpower, which is your intent, your desire, with your energy, with the energy. You need energy in order to create anything. You know this on planet Earth. Energy is extremely imperative for you to get what you want. You cannot get any production without energy. So the same rule applies for manifesting anything that you want. So that's why crystals are very important, because you can get these energies readily. It's already prepackaged in the crystal. It's like a software. You're literally just going to take it and just install it into your system. Get the necessary light codes in order to manifest what you want. Family, you got to think that we are literally like a computer, As a matter of fact, computers were, it's a physical manifestation of us, and it's literally like a training tool for us. It's like we're on training wheels right now to learn a higher form of living. That old caveman mentality of killing and all this nonsense, all that stuff is gone. It's ghost. Just watch and learn. Alright? So you gotta think that our bodies is literally, the famous quote, as above, so below. Our bodies is literally equivalent to the universe. And each part of our body corresponds to, or is responsible for, certain tasks. Our heart is responsible for love, third chakra, will, personal power, so our body is literally like the hardware of the universe. Each physical component requires certain light codes in order to function properly. And if you want to manifest things, you need the right light codes for each part of your body, and each part of your body requires certain type of light code. Each light code corresponds to certain energy center of your body, and that's the power of these crystals. With all these different colors, you can get all the colors, all the light codes that you need to manifest whatever it is that you want. So whatever it is that you want, you just got to figure out, like for example, if you wanted love, you want to work with green or pink light codes. So anyway, I'm gonna do a lot more videos on crystals. I'm learning, so anyway, let's jump right in, okay? So over here on my website, we're looking at tiger's eye. Tiger's eye is a very, very special crystal. This crystal is when I was doing research on it, a lot of people have been using it for luck. That's the one main thing that I got out of this crystal is, for some reason, when you just work with this crystal, you just attract luck, synchronicity, luck. And this is a very good stone to clear out your solar plexus, your third chakra, balance out your third chakra. Obviously, It's good for grounding, for stabilizing. It's a very good stone to work with for attracting prosperity, abundance, success, and it's very cheap too. It's only $3. So yeah, just check out all the I did some serious research on all these stones. So make sure you check out the little info that I put in there on it. All right. So the next one is green aventurine. This is the stone of luck. I mean, this is the gambler's stone. I'm talking about people back in the day. The really enlightened ones would work with these stones to, if they were going to go to a casino or work with numbers, they knew to work with green aventurine. And of course, green aventurine is a green stone, so it's primarily associated with the heart, and it's used to balance the heart. It's used to attract love. It's used to attract prosperity, balancing the male-female energy. But this is primarily a heart stone, so this is the stone for love. This is the stone to balance your heart chakra. Also associated with prosperity and luck, and of course for gambling luck especially. Alright. So, this is one of the packages that I created, prosperity and abundance, and this one is an extremely important product because I personally put together a list of crystals that you can use to attract prosperity and abundance. And when I say attract prosperity and abundance, I'm not talking about getting a good job or whatever, or getting a large sum of money. No. When I say attract abundance and prosperity, I mean literally attract abundance and prosperity. I'm talking about, abundance in love, abundance in friendship, abundance in money, abundance in luck. I mean, everything you do is going to be in abundance. I'm telling you, when I started working with this, I swear to God, I didn't even know such love existed in this world, man. Everybody that sees me right now just swarms me with love. I mean, my mom, my sisters, my friends, I'm telling you, it's inescapable. Emails I'm getting just love. When I go out with friends, they're just, and everybody just, wants to give me stuff. Everybody's just, making me food and just, it works. Trust me. All these crystals that I've listed here, I have personally used. I have I know everything about these stones that I've worked with, that I've listed here on my website. I have first-hand experience with them. So these are not just some random stones that I just happen to pick and sell. No, these are stones that I've worked with for at least 2 years. I have personal affinity with each and every one of these rocks. I mean, you can ask any of my friends. So this stuff is for real, family. And when you order this package, it's going to come with a PDF file of a breakdown of exactly, the certain rituals that you can do, how to, certain things that you can do to work with these crystals to attract the things that you want, the things that you need at this time. And okay, the next one, the divine protection. I'm telling you, man, this is one of the best tools that I believe every single human being needs, especially the spiritual ones, the ones that are waking up, because the more and more you wake up, the more you realize that, the more you realize the truth of the nature of this world and how important it is to protect yourself. I mean, when I started working with these crystals and, developed this divine protection, I was actually forced into it because I literally, was in I was in a bunch of situations where I needed extra protection. I mean, I tried everything, and I'm telling you, people, they were just coming at me. They were coming at me, but I'm telling you, when I started working with these crystals, I'm even the I'm telling you, even the police can't handle me. I'm telling you, they'll come up to me, even if they somehow do manage to come into my energy field, they can't handle it. They're just like uncomfortable. They're just trying to get away from me because they can't handle it. Because I'm protected. These stones have that kind of power. I'm telling you, I mean, I have a lot of stories, to prove that these stones work. For especially me, growing up in Africa and Asia, I know all kinds of people. I know people that even try, magic and stuff on me. And, I mean, they could try, but, I would say try at your own risk. So, anyway, yeah, I'm telling you, these are the stones that I personally work with. I'm amethyst, moldavite, black obsidian, black tourmaline, jasper. So these stones work, and that is my word. These stones work for real. And like I said, it's going to come with the instructions on how to use these stones, how to set up, your protection grid, how to protect your energy field. Even if you don't think you need it, just, people that even, meditate, trust me, in this day and time, you need protection from your, you know what I'm saying? So, anyway, check out all the info that I put on that. And the next one is balance your chakra. So, obviously, most of you have heard about chakras. Chakras basically represent all the energy centers of your body. Well, the major ones. I mean, you have a lot more energy centers, but these are the major ones. And each of these chakras are extremely important, and each of them need to be balanced. Or else you will not experience life in a more conducive and productive way. That's majority of the time, people that are sick, people that are not feeling good, people that are addicted, people that are just, not in tune. A lot of it I would say the primary reason is because their chakras are not aligned and not balanced, and they're blocked. Like for the people that can't fall in love, or the people that can't stay committed, or people that are just broke, people that are mad at the world. All these represent blockages in your chakras. Alright, so they're extremely important. You have to balance each one of your chakras. And if you stick around towards the end, I'm going to show you exactly how to test out your chakras to know which ones needs to be balanced. Well, which one of your chakras are strong, which one are weak, which one needs to be balanced. I'm going to show you all this, okay? Anyway, I'm trying to move really fast here. Okay, so for the next one is the Heartbreak Repair Kit. This is very, very important, because I personally went through a heartbreak, whether it's, relationships, whether it's through death, all of this stuff can literally alter people's mind. It can throw out people's brains. And when you don't heal from that, you're never really gonna experience life to the fullest. You're still you're leaving aspects of yourself behind that, you need to integrate. You need to bring them back and heal, and, and heal from it, just, so you can move on and grow and learn and become better than you were before. And a lot of times people experience this kind of pain because they're not fully grounded yet, and they haven't, there's a greater lesson in life that they have to learn. And And that's the reason that, things in that nature happen to people. It's really just to wake you up to a better reality, to a better you. And the thing is, a lot of people go through this and they don't deal with it. They just, they just try to mask it and just cover it up. They go to, just cover it up with drugs, alcohol, whatnot, and just never really heal from it. And, before you know it, you're old and, just trying to figure out what happened, what happened in your life. So it's very, very important to heal. That's why I created this product right here. And trust me, these works. All these stones right here, the light codes in this are exactly what you need to heal you. You know what I'm saying? Because I myself heal from this, and that's the reason why I'm selling this, because I can personally vouch for it. So anyway, so moving on to clear quartz. Most people are familiar with clear quartz because clear quartz is one of the most basic crystals that we have here. It's abundant. It's very it's very cheap, and it's everywhere. It's found everywhere, and clear quartz is very, very popular. Even in technology today, we use clear quartz. Watches, TVs, all this stuff. We're using, clear quartz for that. And clear quartz is really for it's like an amplifier. It basically amplifies energy. Whether it's energy within your body or whether it's you're working with other stones, they can amplify, other crystals too. And they're good for balancing your 7th chakra. They're really good to balance all your chakras too, to heal. It's a good protection stone too. And obviously it repels negative energy, things in that nature, harmonizes the body. So clear quartz is a must-have for everyone. And over here, moonstone, aka the traveler stone. This is a very special stone too. This stone is for balancing the 2nd chakra, the one right underneath your navel, and it deals with reproduction, sexuality. Very good for to treat infertility. Very good for love. For those trying to attract love. It's also known as an abundance stone. Obviously it represents the moon. The moon deals with our currency, the energy, or the current. So yeah, obviously working with the moon will obviously significantly improve your financial status. So moonstone is a very good stone to have in terms of balancing the feminine energy. If it's a male, obviously, because of our dualistic nature, people need to balance that aspect of themselves too. And also it's associated with for travelers, for people that travel frequently, this is a very good stone to have, that protects you from just unknown dangers or whatnot, and just make sure that only good things happen to you while you're in the journey. So anyway, moving on, red jasper, known as the supreme nature. This is a very, very good stone for balancing your 1st chakra, and it's extremely good for grounding, balancing you. And this stone is actually known for the dream recollection. It helps you remember your dreams. I remember I used to think that, oh man, I can't remember dreams, it's so hard, I was making all kinds of excuses. But when I started working with the stones, man, I'm telling you, man, you're going to remember all your dreams. You just got to make sure you have something to, write it down as soon as you wake up, because you're going to forget after a few seconds. So as soon as you wake up, if you really want to remember your dream, put a red jasper underneath your pillow. And when you wake up the next day, make sure you have a pen and paper handy. And as soon as you wake up, you will remember. You're going to just write it down. And, you know, the more and more you do it, the more you're going to start remembering things. And to the point where you're not even going to need to write things down. So if you really want to know what's going on, work a red jasper. Alright. So of course, you know, rose quartz, this is a very, very famous stone. You know, people that are interested in it, you know, opening themselves up to love, universal love, whether it's, you know, just unconditional love or family reconciliation, or, you know, you're trying to attract a mate, you know, this is the stone that you work with. This stone, I'm telling you, man, even for me, like, you know, one of those days where I feel like, man, I gotta talk to some females, you know, cause I'd be working so hard, and I'm telling you, I'll work with, you know, like certain, you know, pink candles, work with rose quartz. I'm telling you, man, girls just out of nowhere, I'm telling you, it works. So, you know, this one here is, it basically deals with harmonizing your heart chakra, you know, just showing you lessons that's gonna reprogram the way you approach love, you know. You know, a lot of people, they don't experience love because they themselves block the love. You know, they're the ones that are actually blocking themselves from experiencing love because somehow they, in their subconscious, they believe in something, you know, they might have been hurt or they're unworthy or whatnot. So what this stone does is it opens you up. When it opens you up, then, you know, you're going to realize a greater thing that, you know, you're going to realize that you are really the one that's blocking yourself. It's not really people that are, I mean, love is right there in your face. It's just, you know, whether or not you're open to receive it. You know, if you're blocked, you know, you can't. So that's why this crystal is very, 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 very useful for people that are serious. I mean, a lot of people, you know, they just talk, you know, yeah, man, I want to fall in love, and I mean, they don't even mean it, because as soon as they get an opportunity, you know, their blocks immediately just surface, and they're just like literally just, you know, repelling love, if anything. So, but it's subconscious. They don't even realize they're doing it. It's not till, you know, they go home and then they're alone and they're like, oh, no. But trust me, this stone will heal you if that's really what you want. Alright? So, I mean, as working, you know, you can do a lot of things with this stone too, like as far as, especially, you know, with feng shui, you know, if you really want, you can bring love, harmony, attract love, harmony into your whole energy field, your home. I mean, you could be engulfed in love to the point where anywhere you go, you know, anybody that you talk to is only going to be vibrating in love and above frequency. So, these stones are for real, man. I mean, you know, why do you think, you know, in the royal crowns, they got big rocks? You know, why do you think, Africa got stripped, or no, I don't want to say Africa, the whole entire planet got stripped of all these, you know, special minerals or rocks, you know? Cause back in the day, all these stones were buried on the earth. So when the plants, you know, when we're eating from foods, we were getting all these light codes from all these stones. But when all these stones got removed, they got excavated, then all our foods was missing all these vital light codes. So that's why people are missing all these energies and are feeling like they're missing something in their lives, you know? So these stones are very important for us in this time. Okay? So anyway, moving on to rhodonite. Rhodonite is a very, very special stone. This stone is known as the burning rose. It's really good for healing your heart. From, you know, again, this is one of those stones that can heal your heart from a heartbreak. But primarily what this stone heals is your inner child. Your inner child. Actually your inner child is like one of the majority of the reasons why people are living in trauma. They don't even know that they're living in trauma though, because it's like a childhood inner trauma that caused such a it was such a bad experience that you subconsciously just forgot. You just deleted it from your conscious mind. You didn't want to deal with it. So, but then it surfaces, now as an adult, you're engaging in real world activities, and, every now and then that ugly monster just surfaces, and you just catch yourself just doing things that don't even make sense, like, I don't know, like if you want to just go walk up to a client, and introduce yourself, you get, some people get that, oh, I'm too scared, I don't feel like, or like walking up to talk to somebody you like, all this is inner child, something happened in the past, where you felt you weren't safe or whatever, and because you didn't heal from that, that stuff, it comes up, as an adult, for you to theoretically be aware of it so you can heal from it, but a lot of people don't even know. They say first you gotta know what's wrong with you before you can even heal it. So this stone is good for that reason. Like for me, when the reason why I even added this to my product is because it worked for me. When I started working with this stone, I thought I had a pretty good childhood, but when I started, then all of a sudden, I'm starting to get memories. Like, I remember when I was 6 years old, I got into a fight with one of my friends. I mean, we fought for like 6 hours straight. I'm talking about, like, at the end of the fight, I couldn't even move my finger. But, it was, I consider, I think I lost that fight, but I guess that was traumatic. That was a traumatic experience for me. I didn't even remember about this until 20 years later. So I'm serious. Like I forgot about it until when I started working with the song. All of a sudden, I'm getting that memory and the emotions, and I'm like, wow, that's an inner child that was wounded that needed to heal. And I remember one time, when I was in Nigeria as a child, over there I think I got injured one time and I was taken to the hospital, and over there you get injections for anything. I mean, you could have a headache, and if you go to the hospital, they're going to give you 5 series of injections. And my spirit just never liked injections to begin with. I mean, obviously now we know, why, but back then I just knew that wasn't good for me. But obviously back then, it was the old world. People thought that was the right way to heal. But yeah, that was a traumatic experience for me that I blocked out, that I forgot. But this stone brought that injury to awareness so I could heal from it. As soon as I caught that, I immediately realized it was an injury that needed to heal, and I just healed myself from it. And I'm telling you, once you start, healing that inner child, watch out, world. Okay, so this stone is for real, alright? So next one, black tourmaline. I mean, black tourmaline is, in my opinion, is the best protection stone. The best. By far the best. And I'm telling you, when I say it's the best, it's the best. I mean, that's the stone that you should actually be carrying at all times. When I carry this stone, man, I don't care. I can go anywhere with no fear. I created a energy protection grid, like I leave my doors locked. And so what? Why don't you try coming in? And I mean, this stone works, man. It literally works. And I guess when I was doing research, it used to be I guess one of Benjamin Franklin's stone, you know? So obviously, I told you, all these crystals have been known for a very long time. You know, all these so-called famous people, that was their secret. You know, they were working with special crystals. You know, this is a very good psychic protection, you know, for like, you know, for people that may be part of the world where people are still, you know, practicing, you know, evil eye, black magic, voodoo, and all this nonsense. Use black tourmaline, man. I'm telling you, that stuff is gonna go right back in their faces, you know, because it works. And yeah, I mean, black tourmaline, yeah, I wouldn't even meditate without black tourmaline, because you don't even, when you're meditating, you're literally, I mean, you're kind of opening yourself up to, you know, I mean, it's just literally, just imagine this as a computer. It's like you surfing the internet with no antivirus, you know? I mean, you could, yeah, you know, you might hop into this good side, this good side, but but there's always a possibility that, you know, somehow you're gonna attract a malicious virus, you know, or a spyware. And it's like I said, as above, so below. The same thing applies in real world. You know, like I said, the internet, computer is just a physical manifestation of us, ourselves. So the same thing applies to when you're, you know, in a meditative state. You know, you're literally a computer and you're accessing the internet, your subconscious mind. And when you go there, I mean, you could attract anything, whatever. It all depends on your aura. You know, a lot of people have their aura. You know, they don't have any protection fields. You know, they don't have any protection, no angels. You know, they may even have holes in their auras because of our lifestyle. You know, eating all this food and whatever. So you are going to be exposed. You are going to be exposing yourself, so you have to work with black tourmaline to protect yourself. All right. Okay, so next one, magnetite. Wow, magnetite, aka lodestone. Lodestone is a very, very, very special stone. You know, it's because it's magnetic. You know, it's magnetic, and you know, magnetism it's very important because we want to attract things. You know, we're always talking about, you know, I'm trying to attract money, trying to attract love, trying to attract, you know, good things. So that's why you use magnetite, because it literally has a magnetic energy. It literally attracts it. So you, with your intent, willpower, plus the energy of magnetism, you're going to attract what it is that you want, whatever it is that your intent is. Alright, so this is one of those stones that you use to attract things that you want. You know, our whole body is magnetic, our cells is magnetic, you know, our brain cells, so it's, you know, obviously it's very healing also. It can heal us. It's also good for activating our supernatural capabilities like clairvoyance, telepathy, you know, things of that nature. But most importantly, it's also very good to balance out all your energy fields. And you know, in feng shui, you use that to attract the things that you want. So you use that with other stones to attract the things that you want. Alright? Basically you use that in conjunction with other stones to attract what you want. For example, you can use that with rose quartz to attract that light frequency, that light pink codes. You know, the light pink codes corresponds to, you know, love and above frequency, like I stated earlier. Alright. So moving on to red carnelian. Red carnelian, also known as the Mecca stone. I mean, I love this crystal because it is one of my favorite leaders or one of my favorite prophets, Muhammad. I was named after this prophet, and I look up to him, and this is one of his favorite stones that he worked with. It is said that he used to wear that in his left index finger, and it obviously it comes from the word carnis, flesh in Latin. When I look at it, it literally looks like flesh. It literally looks like this Mongolian barbecue chicken that I see in the mall all the time. When I saw this image, it just reminded me of like divine flesh, because that's literally what it is. It's divine flesh. And this is one of these stones that you use for protection against business endeavors. So for all those entrepreneurs or people that are running a business right now, this is the stone to work with, because that's what it does. That's its function. It's got that red energy that that red light coats. That's that warrior energy that brings that courage, that that oomph, that it's excellent stone too for athletes. I'm an athlete, and I'm telling you, this stone is very good for athletes. And also, red carnelian is also, very good for attracting success. So, for, like I said, this is the stone for business people and for athletes, most specifically. But it can be used by everybody else, but more specifically, this is the stone for business. The business people and athletes can benefit the most working with these stones. Okay. All right. So moving on to moldavite. Hold on one second. Let me put some music on. Peace, family. My fault for the delay. Alright, so let me hurry up and finish that. I just realized I'm going way beyond where I wanted to go. So anyway, I'm gonna move on pretty swiftly here. So moldavite is known as the Holy Grail. Moldavite is one of the most powerful stones that I've worked with. I mean, this stone is literally not even from Earth. It's from it literally came here from an asteroid collision that occurred 15 million years ago, and it's only found in one place on Earth, Czechoslovakian mountain. And obviously it's got extraterrestrial primordial energies in it. So this is basically one of these stones that you had to reach a certain level in evolution to even know about this stone. This stone had always been kept a secret. Only kings and royalty and nobility knew about this stone. And man, some people even say that stone was in the Holy Grail. Some people say that was the Holy Grail, symbolically. But who knows? The point is this is one of those stones that will catapult your progression. If you're the type of student that is just not really content with where they are, and they tried everything and just they feel like, man, something's I'm just not seeing things and I want to progress, but I don't know what else to do. If you're for real, work with moldavite. I'm telling you, you're gonna instantly wake up. This stuff is the real deal. So check it out. Check out all the stuff that I wrote about it. Read it. Try it out. Alright, this is for real. Amethyst. Amethyst is, one of my favorite stones. This is Jesus' favorite stone. This is what Jesus used to heal people with. It's all over the Bible. I'm talking about amethyst. And this is one of the stones that was used during significantly during the Middle Ages. From the transition from the age of Taurus to Pisces. So from Moses to Jesus era, from the Dark Ages to the Renaissance period. There was a lot of ignorance back then, and a lot of people just a lot of people were they were subjects. They were just being subjected to ignorant kings back then, whatever it is that they wanted. So people were not living in a very peaceful state. People were suffering back then, so they took a lot of that frustration and intoxicating themselves. So people were very intoxicated at that time, and this stone was very significant. It really helped cure people from that type of destructive behavior. It cured me too. I mean, I had destructive behaviors that I needed to overcome, and that's what I use. And I'm telling you, this stuff for real works, man. Amethyst is a very powerful stone. There's this stuff, if you meditate with it, you can communicate with your angels. I mean, this stuff, bounces, it clears your seventh chakra. This is the stone that it spiritually grounds you, makes you disciplined, controlling your appetite, just controlling any sort of destructive behavior. This is the stone to work with. All right. And this is just one of my attract love packages. This is for those people that are serious about manifesting their soulmate. People that they feel that they're at the point of their lives where they're ready for love. And I'm not talking about like some lust crap or just I'm on some lonely stuff. I'm talking about like when you're for real, like ready for love and you want to get married and you're ready for that kind of thing. This will literally attract you, your soulmate. And I'm telling you, like, love at first sight type stuff. For real, because I like all these stones right here. Yeah. And when you order it, I'm gonna teach you exactly what you need to do to unlock that part of yourself, to allow love to come in, to allow yourself to be open to receiving your soulmate. There's certain rituals that you have to do. There's certain things that you got to do with your life, to bring that reality into existence. Using the art and science of feng shui. There's certain things that that just needs to be done. All right. So anyway, I promised to show you how to use crystals. So for example, this is my clear quartz right here. All right, you can use these stones for to, like I said, to test out your energy level, your frequency. These crystals are for real. You can use this to check to see, which one of your chakras need more work, which one of them is spinning correctly. You can use this to, even ask questions, because, our bodies is literally energy, We're literally, quantum physics. If you study quantum physics, you will know that everything is energy. When you look at our cells from the most fundamental, elemental, microscopic level, it breaks down to atoms, molecules, stuff like that. And even that breaks down to smaller things. And when it comes down to it, you will see that everything is basically just light. Light colors. Okay, so what these stones, this crystal quartz is, like I said, it's an amplifier. So not only that, but it can also read your energy level. So because your body knows everything, you can ask questions that your body pretty much knows all the answers, but you may not be aware of it, because, like I said, you have to be on a certain level of consciousness to be able to understand your body. But for right now, you can use this for a lot of things. All right. So like for example, right now, if I wanted to know, if I want to know, you could just test things. You could just say, Like right now, it's trying to read something, but there's nothing to read. It's trying to read my body. So I'll just say, yes, 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 yes. You see it spinning clockwise? Yes means positive. That's clockwise. So see? Yes, 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 yes. And if I want to say no or negative, that would be counterclockwise. So look, no, 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 no. You see? You can use this to test anything. You can use this to ask questions. You can use this to check to see which one of your chakras needs to be worked. Alright? Look, this video has been way too long, so I really thank you for listening. And, there's going to be a lot more things coming. So if you need any help or, if something don't make sense, please reach out to me, okay? Alright, family. Hope to catch you soon, alright? Peace.